Oh, yeah. Much better than yesterday. Yesterday was crap. Everyone was very quiet yesterday. How's everyone doing? Were you all here yesterday? No? Where were you if you weren't here? It was nice weather yesterday, in fairness. It was. How's everyone's Comic-Con going so far? Everyone enjoying themselves? 10th anniversary. Have everyone been here for 10 years? No? Is anyone old enough to be here for 10 years? Or you're all very young looking? No? No? Not funny? Okay. Just before we begin, I know we all kind of know about what's happening in America with strikes and whatnot. Can't ask certain questions, okay? I will put it to you to ask questions. You can't ask anything about any shows or anything. I know we're a little bit disappointed about that, but we have to go with the guidelines, okay? Everyone all right with that? Okay, everyone ready to go? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Christina Chong.
Two flames, two hearts, and blood.
Hello! First time I've entered the stage to my own music.
Very first time being introed with the music.
Which is mine?
You're there, yeah, you go
Okay.
there. Yeah. First time coming out to the music.
Yeah, to my music.
Your music.
First time coming out to my music. Yeah.
I'd say
Thanks
that was
for that, guys.
a bit exciting for you.
Yes, exactly.
How has the con been going for you so far?
Amazing. It's so lovely here. I mean, this is my second time to Dublin. I was here, I feel like it was 2011, 2012, filming something that I can't talk about, but one of the things I do for a living. And that project actually never got finished. But yeah, I remember it being a really lovely city. I haven't gotten out into Dublin yet. This visit has been very quick, but yeah, I love it.
Will you get a chance to do a bit of exploring, or are you straight out of here?
Straight to the airport in a few hours, yeah.
Oh, wow, okay, so just non-stop for you.
In, out, shake it all about.
And have you had a chance to have even one Guinness?
No, because I'm still a bit jet lagged from Las Vegas, so I think if I have any alcohol, you'd find me asleep at my table, and that's probably not good for anyone.
That's like 90% of the actors down there. But they kind of sleep, half of them are asleep now as it is. So.
True, yeah.
Without going into too many details, how was your trip to Vegas?
It was my first time to... Has anyone else been to Vegas? Who's been to Vegas? So I'd never been before, and for me, I didn't know what to expect, and it was mental. I mean, bearing in mind, I didn't even leave the hotel or the other hotel, the Con Hotel. It was just literally A, B. But I didn't realize that everything is in the hotels. They want you to stay there and spend all your cash in the hotels. I was like, oh, the Starbucks is in the hotel? Everything is in the hotels. So, yeah, I would love to go back again and actually see Vegas.
Do a bit of exploring in it, yeah.
And yeah.
I wouldn't recommend walking. I did that once and it was horrendous because you think you're close to another hotel and you realize it's actually 2 miles away.
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay, yeah.
It's really,
yeah.
So you had a good time anyway?
Yeah, it was
great
fun.
to see
very
lots of
busy.
people.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you like going to cons and stuff like that. So
I do.
Fun.
I mean, I wouldn't do it if I didn't.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously there's certain things we can talk about, certain things, but we have lots to talk about anyway. So acting wasn't your first thing that you wanted to do?
No, I actually wanted, first of all, to be a vet, because I had rabbits and I really like animals. And obviously I have my dog. And if you don't know my dog, she is in a job that I do. And her name is Runa Ewok. And she's on Instagram. You can follow her at Runa_Ewok. Thank you very much. And then... And she is the love of my life. And yeah, so I thought I was going to be a vet. And then my mum told me how much I'd have to study to be a vet. And I was like, oh no, I don't want to do that. And then I was like, okay, well then maybe I'll be a gladiator. And I had a gladiator party. And that was all going great. And then Gladiator came off TV. And I was like, oh, shiza. Okay, well maybe when I'm older, I'll create it again. And then suddenly Gladiator's on TV again. But now I'm an actor. I can't really do Gladiator now. So that went down the pan.
Who was your favourite Gladiator?
Jet.
She was my favourite.
And Lightning. And then I was like, okay, so I can't be Gladiator yet. I'll stick with the dancing. and then made that career. I went to performing arts school, and then realised I didn't want to do that. Injury, and also I was ensemble and I wanted to play leads, and I thought, well, let me get into TV and film, work my way up, build myself a profile, and then I can go back into the West End or Broadway and play leads. And for those of you who know, will understand how my career has come 360 very recently. So I always wanted to do musicals. That was always the plan. I wanted to do film, film musicals actually, originally. TV musicals, all right, that's fine. And Broadway and West End, that hasn't happened yet. But yeah, and then that gave me a platform to release my own music.
Which is it's very, very recently is that when you started releasing music. Obviously, you know, there's been, acting has kind of taken a back seat.
Yeah.
But you have this new outlet to be able to do this. And you have a couple of songs out already, and I have them on the list here. No Blame, Twin Flames, Can't Show Love.
And one more, I Get to Choose, which is actually one of my favorites. But that's you can only buy that on the EP.
Okay.
On the digital or physical EP. So it's the focus track of the EP.
And you, I believe you have a few left downstairs.
I only have, I think, 9 left downstairs, physical copies. They're all pre-signed and you can get them personalised here. And if you don't manage to get a copy today, if you want one, then you can pre-order on my Instagram on the link at the top of my Instagram. I guess it's my website now. But yeah, so you can pre-order, but that's the absolute last orders we're doing. So.
Okay. So going from you were dancing and musical stuff like that, and you said you got an injury. How did that affect you? You wanted to do the musicals and stuff like that. Then you got injured. How did you feel?
Well, it's hard because you want to do it because you love it, but then the injury. I remember I was off like 2 weeks at a time. Every time it kind of, it was a insertion of the hamstring injury, and I was like, I don't want to. My body can't do this. It's not playing game. I was like, I need to do something else. So then I thought, well, I'd had a breakup as well, the first love. Broke up, and I was like, I wanted to get out of England. I was like, let me go. I don't want to go. I don't want to be in England. I want to get the hell out of here and just disappear. So I thought I'll go to New York. I actually went up because when I was in Germany, right, doing this musical. I would go to the Hauptbahnhof. Am I saying that right? There's somebody German here. Hauptbahnhof. Is that right? The station. The Hauptbahnhof. No idea.
I don't know Germany though.
Germany, anyone? German?
Nope.
No. Okay, so I'm just going to call it the Hauptbahnhof. And and so I would go there because there was an international book shop that sold English magazines. I thought I would go there like however often they would come out. And I read that Charlotte Johansson had been to the Strasbourg Film and Theatre Institute. So I was like, study to be a proper actress so that then I can go into TV and film. And that's what I did. So and also allowed me to disappear. And I went to New York and studied there in New York.
What was that experience like? Going from England to New York, big decisions?
Yeah, I mean, it was actually really great because I remember landing on the tarmac and feeling like I was home. And I don't know if anyone else has felt like that when they've been to America, because we see it so much in movies. I think that's what it was. I landed and I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like I know this place because I've seen it so much on TV. So it was, amazing experience.
So many different things. So you've got dancing, you've got acting, you've got music now. What would be, if you could do one, would it be the music? Would it be possibly getting on Broadway?
What, and I can't do the others?
Yeah.
If you put a gun to my head and say I can only do one, you can't do that. Well, the thing that's just come to me is acting. I would, out of all of them, because I guess there's so much you can do with it. I mean, I know there is in singing as well, but with singing, there's a lot more moving parts to that. You know, so many more people that you rely on, whereas acting, that I would need to rely on because I don't play instruments, and I don't know how to do all the engineering stuff. Whereas acting, I could just act in my bedroom if I wanted, you know, and it's cathartic as well. So I'm processing my own emotions and traumas and healing by using my personal stuff in my work.
When it comes to, so you've got 4 songs out now. I'm going to assume there's a lot more coming.
I hope so.
Yeah.
We're talking about it. We don't know what to do. I don't know. I'm winging it massively. I don't know what I'm doing.
Full album?
Yeah, that's the idea. But there's also some maybe Christmas, some acoustic versions. Oh! I tell you what I could do. I could play you through my microphone a remix.
Okay.
Have I got my phone? Hang on. Of Twin Flames, which is the title track of the EP. So nobody has ever heard this before. And there's a plan to drop these remixes. And then some acoustics. And then, I mean, I've always wanted to do a Christmas single. I mean, that would be cool. But what would I sing about? What would I sing about? Any ideas? Throw ideas out. I'll take them. Let's see. Singing. No ideas, anybody? All right, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't all shout at once. Okay, so...
I think they're a bit nervous about, I could say
again?
something. No, I can't say. No, I think they're a bit nervous. I can't say that.
All I Want for Christmas, that's already been done.
Well, we could get rid of her and put you in there because I think we're sick of that other version, so we get a new version.
Okay, so this is, I don't know if anyone's into electronic music, but this is what it is. Okay, I've done this once before for a different song, and it worked, so let's see. Is it working? Can we turn this up?
We were told we met before this, and then I knew it from the first kiss. And all that I felt when you touched me again, feeling you through me, don't want this to end, let's still focus. Left me soulless. Twin flames, 2 hearts combine out in any second.
You've walked in on a rave, guys.
2 hearts can implode.
Yeah, get your phones out, right? Woo! Everyone jump out! Woo!
I have a medical condition. I won't be getting up.
Let's get up, come on, up there, everyone!
Just have to do the dad dance, okay? Get them lights on. Get them lights on. Yes. I did the die.
Okay, there we go.
There we go, ladies.
So that's a preview.
I like the remix.
Yeah,
I really like
there's
the
a house
remix,
remix. I won't do it. But there's a house remix as well. So
I like that.
and a deep trance one.
So you've got the few songs out, obviously more on the way. But so far, of the ones that you've done, what has meant the most to you?
So the one that touched me the most was I Get to Choose, which is the last track on the EP, because I didn't really know what I was going to write that day. With the others, I kind of knew. And this one, I was like, let it just happen in the room. Whatever comes out, comes out. And so that we were talking, because that's how I start talking about just throwing up how I'm feeling in the moment. And so I was like, well, I feel like I'm in a place in my life right now where I said before, my whole journey has come 360. It's like the things that I wanted from the beginning of my life, from my career, have happened. And I was like, wow, like I'm at a place where suddenly I get to choose, and I'm in my light, I'm standing in my light, I feel strong as a single woman, and I have, you know, and you can be I think it took a while for me to learn that you can be happy on your own. You don't need anybody else to be. I mean, obviously we need communication and socialization and all that stuff to remain humans. But I mean, out of romantic relationship, I didn't need, and obviously the EP was all about a breakup. And I get to choose who's coming out of the other side of it. And, you know, there's a lyric, the lyrics are, this life, it turns us around. Can you hear that sound? I'm on a journey right now. I'm still on that journey, you know, but things, I think that lyric, this life turns us around, was the whole thing of like, oh my God, I didn't think I was going to make it. And then it just turned 180 and I was like, here you go. And then, yeah, it's just being in my power and my light. And so when I was singing those lyrics, when I was recording them that day, because it's all done in one day, by the way, each song is done in one day. And that's not even one day. It's mental how with this, well, with Jake Gosling, it's done in one day because he works so quickly. You go in, I think we would start at like 11 a.m. or was it 12? It might have been 12 actually. And we would be done with a full finished song by 5, 6 p.m. So you go in with nothing and you come out with a full song, which is incredible. And so...
From nothing to full song in a single day. That's mental.
I know, it's crazy.
Wow.
I went in for like touch-ups, for like, you know, extra beat, backing vocals and things like that. But essentially it was all done. And yeah, so I was in the studio recording those lyrics and I suddenly hit me what I was singing about. And I was very emotional singing those. I had to let it come out. And then I was like, okay, let me do it properly now. Because you can't be emotional and sing at the same time. You can to an extent, but not really, you know, because it closes up your vocal cords.
How did the journey start getting into music, writing songs, and getting them recorded? How did it begin?
Well, I mean, obviously studying to be a singer at Performing Arts School, that's where it started. And then I was working with an A&R guy who worked with Amy Winehouse right after I left Italia Conti, before I went to Germany. But I'd already booked the job in Germany. So he'd said to me, if you want to do this singing thing for real, you can't go to Germany. You need to put all your effort into this. And I was like, but I've already signed the contract, you know, booked the job. And he's like, well, it's up to you, but I'm just telling you, you'll be too old by the time you come back. I was like 19. I was like, I don't think I will be. And I said to myself, I will do it one day when the time is right. So it was always in the back of my head, but I didn't really tell anybody else. I don't even know if my mum knew that I wanted to do it. And so when something happened, which we can't talk about, I was like, oh my gosh. The vocal coach I was working with, Elaine Overholt, said to me, you know, I think you could do this. She gave me the confidence. And I was like, do you think? And she was like, yeah. So I just put out the energy into the universe. And I thought, well, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't, you know. And I told my agent, my manager at lunch, and they were like, oh. They were like, it's a bit of a, you know, left swing. And I was like, yeah, I know. But let's just see what happens. And I'm like, okay. And my manager was like, well, I do actually know a producer. I'll put you in touch. So I started talking to people. And then a very strange coincidence, or not really, I always think actually things are meant to happen, but you might like to call it coincidence. I was accidentally tagged by a stylist in one of her posts. She has a client called Chris Chong, and she accidentally tagged me. And I wake up and I'm like, who's this? That's not me. Like, who's this stylist tagging me? Anyway, she wakes up and she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I've just realized I've tagged the wrong person. I was like, don't worry. But actually, are you free? I need a stylist. And she was like, yes, I am. So we started working together. Her name's Olga. And we got on really well. So I started telling her about my J-Lo ambitions. And so she said, by the way, had never heard me sing. Didn't even know if I could sing. Could have been tone deaf for all she knew. And she said, I have a friend who I think would be great for you to connect with. She's a great singer-songwriter. So she put me in touch, and I was messaging with this woman, Anouk. And she said, have you got any, demos or anything? And I only had one thing at that time, which you might guess what that one thing was. And I sent that one thing to her, and she said, can you talk right now? I was like, yeah. So I get on the phone, and she has it on speakerphone, and her fiance is also talking and joining in the conversation. She's like, we love your voice, da-da-da. Me and Jake would love to write with you. Can you come down to the studio? We'll book a couple of days in, see how it goes. So I didn't know who Jake was. And then I Googled it all and figured it all out on Instagram. I was like, oh my God, Olga's friend is engaged to Jake Gosling, who is Ed Sheeran's producer. I was like, oh my God. Okay. So, but Olga didn't tell me that.
Big time there.
Yeah, big time. I think he's sold the most albums than anyone in the UK. Jake Gosling, that is, as a producer. Anyway, so then I go down to the studio, and the first day we record, the first song was No Blame. And there and then he was like, well, let's do this. I'll do your EP for free, and I'll put you on my label, my indie label, and I walked away with a record deal. I was like, that's all right.
That's amazing. That story is amazing. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's amazing. I suppose it kind of what's happening now. It's kind of come at the right time because of all the issues that's happening. It's come at the best time for you. This has.
It's crazy because I'm now looking back, going, if I had been filming right now, how would I ever have promoted this music? And because it's like, I don't know if you guys have seen my social media, but we bought 500 EPs, the first lot, and they sold out within 48 hours. And we've just ordered another lot, but it's going to be me on my own with I've roped in my niece and nephew now, but tomorrow morning, think of me at 9 a.m. When I'm handwriting all of these, because I don't know I don't know how to do this, technical stuff of printing labels and all of that. I'm just going to do it by hand. So yeah, and how active you have to be with all the socials, and it's little things like, I've been helping with the designs of merchandise, which hasn't fully dropped yet. It's out there, but I'm waiting for an order to come in, and so I can check it all before I announce it. So it's mental that 100% it's come at the perfect time.
So obviously you do your own writing yourself. You pour yourself into these songs. But what has been the most difficult part of that?
That's a very, I don't know if there is, because it's just like with the acting, it's all cathartic. And my one rule with the singing journey is to be authentically me and not hide behind. I'm not going to sing any words that don't mean something to me, or sing about any issue that doesn't mean something to me. So yeah, there's no bad part about it. I mean, maybe the only thing is that I can't do it on my own. I have to rely on loads of people to pull it together. But maybe, yeah, it's great, yeah.
You've obviously loved the process so far.
Yeah,
that's all been good.
yeah.
If you wanted to kind of collab with one person, one singer, who would it be?
Oof, that's
a tough one, I think.
It's a tough one. I mean, there's so many people.
Okay, give me a few.
All right. Well, listen, I would have loved to collab with Amy Winehouse. Amy Winehouse is one of my inspirations. I mean, Lady Gaga, J-Lo. I'd love to do a Spanish. I speak a little bit of Spanish. I have actually got a bit of a Spanishy song, but I would love to do one in part Spanish. So maybe that would be with J-Lo or Camila Cabello, or Enrique Iglesias. That would be cool. Me and Enrique. Um,
Well, considering
single Enrique. I'm single. I don't know if he is.
considering you mentioned him earlier on, maybe Ed Sheeran.
Ed, yes, Ed Sheeran, good idea. And we already have a connect, so yeah.
So you're starting now.
Oh, I know who. There's a
Oh.
there's an artist that I've recently met. Went to his concert. Bluey, his name is. Look him up on Spotify. Very cool. He has a song called Showgirl, which I absolutely love. Actually, I would love to collab with him. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you're starting out. You've got a couple of songs talking about albums, and what about performances?
So that makes me nervous.
Just like me right now.
Yeah. Well, that makes my heart race when we talk about that. But it will have to happen at some point. I'll have to pass that barrier. But I think it's more likely going to be once I have the album under my belt and launch the album with a live show.
Come back to Dublin, do a live show.
Maybe. I'm not going to make any
Yes,
promises.
ladies and gentlemen, yes. Yeah.
Only if I sell out of my EP today. How's that?
EP.
Can't be that hard, guys.
Plenty of yous there, lads. Get it done. When it comes to, obviously, you've done stage, you've done nervousness. How do you deal with that?
I don't see that's because I think because I've been doing the acting thing for a while now, I don't really get nervous, but the singing thing would be where I would. So I don't know how. I really genuinely don't know how I'm going to get over that. Because obviously when you're nervous, it affects your voice. So I'm still going to have to learn how to do that. I think it's going to be starting up slow. Start up with, secret gigs just for family and close friends for a while until I get
they're
the
the
confidence.
best. I think those little intimate gigs are the best.
Yeah.
There's actually, Ed Sheeran has done that in Dublin. And
Oh, is he?
Oh, yeah. Very, very secretive. You only hear about it on the day. So maybe that's something you could think about.
Yeah, so
Do
how many
secret
does he
gigs.
have? What's secret for him? Like how many people attending kind of
100
thing?
or less, I think.
Yeah.
Which for him is that
Yeah,
would be
tiny,
huge.
tiny, yeah.
Very small.
Yeah. I'm thinking like 20. 20 people.
Oh, you definitely get more than 20.
Yeah.
Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open up to the floor. We only have a couple of minutes left. If you have a question for Christina, please come up. You've got mics in the front here and mics in the back as well. Just, I want to remind you as well, we can't talk about any shows or anything that Christina's been on. Is there anything else you want to ask? Please do so. There's mics right in the front here and in the back. I can see people moving around.
Don't all rush at once.
Oh. I think there is probably a bit of nervousness.
That's all right. I can
About it.
understand that.
Anybody? Oh, we do? Yes, sorry. Yeah, go ahead. Practically sitting on the mic, that's fine.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Question for you. What would your name have been if you'd have been a gladiator?
Give that man a
Firefly.
prize. Give that man a prize. That's a fantastic question.
Brilliant. Firefly.
Firefly.
Is that a thing? I don't know. Firefly?
Yeah?
Firefly, because she can fly through the air. I can see some silk work, aerial stuff, jumping. Because I used to do parkour. So that makes sense.
Yeah, and then kicking people in the
And
face.
also it goes
yeah.
with twin flames. They could play twin flames as I'm coming out.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I can see it now. Celebrity
Absolutely perfect.
gladiator.
Absolutely perfect. Yourself in the back there.
Hello. First of all, thank you for being so kind to me and my daughter yesterday in the signing. Really appreciate that. Thank you. My question is, I know there's things we can't talk about, but did you have any fight training or combat stuff or anything like that before taking on your most famous recent role? Because my wife is a black belt and she's always kind of watching for that kind of stuff. So we were just curious.
Yeah, I studied Kung Fu.
Ah.
Yeah. So, and also, my dad had us when we were very young, on an early Sunday morning. We were up. We grew up in council housing, and then he would get us. So there's kids looking out, neighbours' kids looking out of the windows watching us. So we'd be in the garden like this. We'd have to line up in a line, early in the morning, and do these kung fu moves, I want to be the best. I've got to be the best, like that, every Sunday. So I have to be the best. So that's what started it. Like Dad teaching me how to do all these kung fu things when I was like 8. And then I went to, but I didn't do any grading or anything like that. I just kind of learnt for kind of stunty type stuff.
I'd imagine stuff like that in stage school was a walk in the park for you. No problem.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Being a dancer, it's very easy to pick up choreography, fight choreography. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you
You're
very
welcome.
much.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Oh, yes. You, sir.
Oh, they're all coming out now.
You talked a little bit about having done performing arts, and I was wondering, as someone who recently graduated from a performing arts degree, what would be one small piece of advice you could give if you were to give advice?
When you're coming out of drama school, one thing that I think that, well, maybe it's changed now, I doubt it, but maybe it's changed, but I think what is missing from the training is how to manage mental health. Because as an actor, it's really hard to maintain your happiness when you're not doing what you love. So I've worked, with a life coach since 2010, consistently, and built up tools, exercises. I meditate every day. I've learned how to reframe, find the silver linings in things that are going not my way, and when I wake up feeling not great, as we all do sometimes. And I would think if they taught that in schools, schools in general, actually.
That would be a great idea.
Yeah, and so I'm working at the moment with a company called Meditation University. I'm putting together an online course for actors. It's specific for actors, and I also teach for a company called Spotlight. Do you guys have? No, it's just a UK. It's Spotlight. It's the
Fish pond over here.
Okay, that for actors. Yeah, so in the UK it's Spotlight, and it's the organisation that you have to be with in order to get auditions in the UK. And so I work with them. I teach workshops and things like that for actors and help them to be okay or feel better no matter what, basically, is the idea. But I'll give you one thing which I think is really, really helpful. When you go into an audition, turn impress into bless. Don't try to get the job. Go in and make them feel good. Give them a good time. They're sat there all day, and this is any interview actually. They're sat there all day, one in, one out, with, probably bored to tears, and just make them laugh, make them smile, treat them as humans. And don't try to impress them. Just go in and give them your love, your energy. And yeah.
That's brilliant, yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is there... Oh, yeah, sorry. Yes, after.
I like to go for walks with my dog. Runa Ewok, Runa_Ewok. And
That's getting more plugs than anything else.
I know, do you know what I mean? I like to I take her swimming as well. There's a special dog swimming pool. I like to spend time with her. And what else do I do? I write and just watch TV shows, I guess. But I feel sometimes guilty if I'm not doing stuff like towards my career, But I try to get out in nature a lot and that kind of thing.
You have to have your own downtime. You can't constantly be working.
Yeah, I know. I probably should have more downtime. But
would your dog, would she go with you around the world?
Yeah, she comes with me to Toronto when I'm working in Toronto for some things. So she flies on my lap. She's only ever flown business class. How bougie is that for a dog? She's only ever flown business class. So she is on my lap. She's so well behaved. She's on set. Shouldn't have said that. Cut that feed.
No,
she comes with me to work. She comes with me to work. She sits in my chair, and while I'm working.
Well behaved in your chair?
Oh yeah, she doesn't make a sound. And then I do my work over there, and then I walk back to my chair. She jumps off the chair, lets me sit down, and then jumps on my lap. It's so cute. Sorry? She's a toy Cavapoo, so she's a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel crossed with a toy poodle. And
Try saying that fast 3 times.
which part?
All of it.
Cavalier King Charles Spaniel crossed with a toy poodle. Cavalier King Charles Spaniel crossed with yeah, so she is the best. Before we let me know when you're going to wrap up, because I'd like to do one more thing before you wrap
Yeah,
up.
no
but
problem.
Go ahead.
I think we'll probably
So
take.
you're
We
the
have
host.
one more question, is it? One more?
I think that person over there was waiting.
Oh,
first.
sorry.
Hello, Christina.
Hello.
It was lovely to meet you yesterday.
You too.
I just want to ask you, I know one of your first TV roles was Doctor Who, which is my favourite programme. So I was just wondering, obviously it's one of your early roles, what was it like stepping into, one of the iconic British television programmes? And on top of that as well, your character had a lot of backstory with the Doctor that was never looked into. I was just thinking, because Doctor Who is very timey-wimey, would it be something that you would like to go back in the future to delve into that backstory about running with the Doctor in the past?
I don't think we can. We can't, unfortunately. Great question, but we can't,
Because
unfortunately.
of the SAG-AFTRA strike, I'm unable to talk about any acting, unfortunately. Sorry about that.
Great question, but thank you.
Yeah, great question.
Is there one more over here?
Yeah, I'm not sure how this falls under the rules, but you've been attached to some famous things. If you could be in any book adaptation or remake of a movie or any series, and you had any pick you want, what would you like to be in? What role would you like to play?
Is that?
No, I think it's
it's
kind
a
of on
bit-
the
that's a-
line. It's
yeah,
on the
that's kind of
line.
on the line
'Cause I'm
as
not.
well.
I can't say any title. Do you know what I mean? If
Yeah.
it's yeah.
Yeah.
I just got to be super careful, because if I lose my job,
That's okay. Thank
We
you. I
cannot
understand.
let that happen.
Yes.
That is a no. Although, let's be honest, she'll make a great singer, so that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Okay, I think we're going to wrap it up now. So you say you want to do one
okay, I
more
want to
thing.
do one more thing. I am just going to play the house remix of Twin Flame. But you all have to promise to boogie to it. That's the only thing. So get your phones out and your lights. First of all, I almost forgot. Can you first? Well, we're getting our phones out anyway. If you can get your phones out, and if you have Spotify or iTunes, just open that app. I can wait. It's all right. And then if you just put my name in, is it up there? No. Christina Chong, Chong, in Spotify or iTunes or whatever. So, and you'll see Twin Flames come up. If on the Spotify profile, if you can, in my artist profile, if you can press follow on there, that helps with that algorithm. Thank you. Yes, thank you. And yay, thanks guys, thank you.
I've never seen so many faces just go like this. Everyone's head just like, get the phone.
And iTunes, I don't know if you can follow on iTunes, but if you could download or whatever you want on iTunes, that would be amazing. This is the main week. This is the biggest week for the EP. It's, in a way, it's a proof of concept, because if this does well, it means that we'll have a better chance with the album. So thank you so much for that. And so now is the house remix. So get your lights on, everyone. This is
Oh, wow. They're popping up already. Wow.
popping up, and you got to get up again. And we're gonna boogie. We won't need to work out this week. We'll just dance. Here we go.
I can only do a dad dance, so that's all I do.
Let's do the grapevine. Can you do the grapevine?
We were told we
God,
never
no.
Side behind side together. Side behind
Then I
side
knew
together.
from the first
Side
kiss.
behind side together.
And all that I felt when you touched me again.
I'm
Feeling you through me,
Got
then
it!
let's turn, let's do focus.
Woo!
Left me so loose.
Nobody tell my wife, for God's sake.
Woo! Everyone on stage!
jump up. Everybody up. I'm not doing that dance. I'm in your first concert. I'm just going to run away now. Firefly. There, your Firefly. Ladies and gentlemen, massive round of applause. Christina Chong.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
As they decompose. And as you look closer at these corpses, they almost appear to be moving. But it is not the corpses that live, oh no. It's the flesh-gorged rats that after feeding, run and scurry by your feet. As they decompose. And as you look closer at these corpses, they almost appear to be moving. But it is not the corpses that live, oh no. It's the flesh-gorged rats that after feeding, run and scurry by your feet. as they decompose. And as you look closer at these corpses, they almost appear to be moving. But it is not the corpses that live. Oh no. It's the flesh-gorged rats that after feeding, run and scurry by your feet. As they decompose.
That's more like it. My name is Olivia Fahy. I am the editor of Geek Ireland, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to our very, very special panel we have today. A little bit of housekeeping for everybody. We are not going to be mentioning the T word. Due to the SAG-AFTRA strike and the writer's strike, we are not permitted to ask certain questions about past, present, future endeavors that are going to be on screen. So please, I'm not going to be able to ask them. You guys aren't going to be able to ask them. So when we do open it up to the floor, please, 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 or else I'm going to be just going into the microphone going, and we're just going to be wasting everyone's time, all right? Everybody okay with that? Are you all enjoying the 10th anniversary of Dublin Comic Con? The boys are backstage. Happy birthday to the organisers. I won't keep you waiting much longer. Please, put your hands together. Raise the roof for Robert Patrick, Michael Bean, and Linda Hamilton! Well, hello, everyone.
Hello.
How are we doing today?
I'm good. I can only speak for myself. I'm good.
Have you been enjoying your time here so far?
Yes, it's pretty much the convention center and the hotel. That's it for this trip. But I'm making the most of it. I've met some nice people.
Yeah, you've been embracing the green as well, I see.
I bought these for the trip as a little how you do in Ireland.
And Jens, how are you getting on enjoying your or the 10th anniversary special so far? It's okay, get comfy first. It's all good.
This is the 10th anniversary of...
It is for our Dublin Comic Con.
Oh,
It's their 10th
yeah, this
birthday.
is fantastic. I'm glad to be here at the 10th anniversary of the Dublin Comic Con.
Best ever.
This is the best ever, best ever Comic Con I've ever been at. And 10 years ago, I was dreaming about this very moment of being here at the 10th anniversary of Comic Con.
And I think it's so good to have you all here today because, of course, during the climate that it is in Hollywood at the moment, it is important to give, a voice to what's happening because I think a lot of us have been learning more about how it actually works as a result of all of the strike action. So for each of you, like, how has it been so far? Like, how do you feel?
I support my union 100%.
I support my union 100%. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm with you.
You have to. And I remember when I was a very young actress, which was 100 years ago already. It's my 100th anniversary. I was getting ready to do a TV series, and it was all locked down, and the actors went on strike. And there I was with a mortgage for the first time in my life, thinking that I'd be bringing money in, and we were on strike for months. And our union, I got a check from the union to sort of keep me, afloat, unsolicited. It was just like, we want to help you. And I wish that there was that kind of money for all the young actors. I really feel for the ones that don't have anything in the bank and are really experiencing the hard times right now. So we just have to be in complete solidarity and hope that it ends and we get what we need as actors, performers.
Most definitely. So while I know each of you appeared in, I know you appeared in the projects, but do you? Oh yeah,
At least one project.
Yeah. My phrasing is really careful on these cards, folks. But have your paths crossed much over the years since? So, because I know you two were together. So, how has that been in the years since?
Not enough for me. I don't get to see these gentlemen enough. It's always a pleasure to come to one of these things and get to see my old buddies. I live in New Orleans, so I live far, far away from Hollywood. So, it's rare that I get to see my old friends.
Michael, for you?
Well, it's always difficult when you become close to down to Santa Monica, and she had a party. It must have been during T2, and I remember talking to Robert at the time, and you might not remember this, Robert, but I said to you, and it was after you made the movie, and I said to you, just because you're going to be in probably the highest grossing movie of the year, it's not going to make you a movie star, because it's a Jim Cameron movie, and it's always about Jim Cameron, as well as it should be. I'm not like knocking that situation, but you know, it's always about Jim Cameron, as well it should be. But I can remember telling you at the time, don't have these expectations, because you know you're going to be in the biggest movie of the year, and somehow that's just going to propel you to stardom. But I have, and I've never really talked to Robert that much, but I have been extremely impressed with his career as an actor. Because sometimes you get a role like that, and it's like a big role, so fast, so big. But he has been working, 30 years since you did that movie? 33 years. He's been working constantly, and he's a fabulous actor. And whenever he's on the screen, I always like watching him. So, you know. That's one of the sweetest things ever heard.
I think each of you had very similar but also very different experiences. One like post-release, like life changed quite quickly. So how was that for each of you?
Can I just say that I really appreciate what Michael had to say. That means a lot to me. I was in Cleveland, Ohio, dreaming of being an actor, scared to death of the very thought of how you pursue a career in this business. When their movie came out, I think I had just moved to California and was getting started. And I remember saying to a buddy of mine in Cleveland, this is, well, I can't say it because it involves a title, but I said this guy happened to be a guy that was a bodybuilder, and I made some sort of reference. Yeah, I'm headed to Hollywood. And I said, you know, you could go too. You could be the next.
Insert word here.
And I remember saying that, and he remembers me saying that to him, and how ironic that, you know, 6 years later, it happened to me, which was, but I admired both of these guys tremendously in their careers, and it's just an honor to be here on the stage with you at this point. I mean, it's like 33 years since I did the movie with you, and we've never worked together.
We've never worked together, but I hope to at some point.
Me too.
And it's just, you know, it's incredible to know that you've done something that's had an impact, and it's impacted people all over the world. When you've got real humble beginnings, and it's pretty fucking neat.
You know, this interview is you know, it's a little bit odd because the actors are on strike and we don't really know what we're supposed to talk about, what we can talk about, and what we shouldn't talk about. But I wanted to give you an idea, because Jim told me probably 10 years ago, he was talking about one of the major reasons the actors are striking right now is that we want to retain the ownership of our likeness, because we're not that far away from Tom Cruise licensing out his likeness to a company and them going and making a movie with Tom Cruise that is not Tom Cruise, that's AI. It's not that far away. And I was talking to Robert. Have any of you seen that the stuff that they do with Arnold Schwarzenegger online where he's singing and it's that and I'm not sure whether Arnold enjoys that or thinks it's funny or is suing them or but that's Arnold's likeness, and they're kind of having a joke and they're kind of making fun of it, but that's his face and this is my face and that's Linda's face and Robert's face, and we own our faces and we want to continue to own our faces, and we're coming to a place in technology where that is becoming more and more difficult. So I would like to, not see me in some porn movie, which they could, and we're just at the
Except
beginning
the ones
of it
I
now.
made in the early 80s.
Our union has been extremely strong. When I got in, it was mid 70s, and it's been a very strong union. So I think what we're fighting for and what we're striking for and what Fran has talked about is we're trying to support the actors that are coming up. The young actors, I fell into a wonderful union, and we'd like the union to be as strong for them as it was for us when we first started. It's not all the streaming, all the Netflix, all the everything that's streaming now. We all make a living by residuals. We get paid up front, but then every time it shows on television, we get paid a little bit. And that's all been taken away from us with streaming. So that's the reason why the whole conversation is kind of awkward and we can't say certain things. I'm not even sure what we can say and what we can't say, but I just wanted to let everybody know it's not a bunch of spoiled actors wanting more money. We just want to be able to retain the rights to our own images and get paid every time they show us on repeats on places like Netflix and Apple TV and so on and so forth. So I just want to explain that to you. And there's nothing to...
Very well said. Very well said. And that's the thing, because when you do get to meet fans or even just run into them on the street, you want them to recognize you for the work that you've actually done and not for stuff that you haven't done. You don't know anything that they're talking about. And Linda, am I right in saying that there was just after the project came out, you were in a pool hall and got recognized?
Yes.
Is that true?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. It's like I tell people, don't ever create a legend, because then you have to live up to it or live it down, and they're both awful. So I'm in a movie. I'm in Virginia, and I was out shooting pool, and I hear all this whispering, people in the corners sort of looking and pointing. And then I hear someone say in a stage whisper, so I could hear, "That can't be Sarah Connor. She'd play pool a lot better than that." So people just buy into this whole, she's fantastic at everything she does. And, so I've met a lot of disappointed faces out there. Bad game of pool, Oh,
I'm sure no one is disappointed to meet you this weekend. Robert, you and I had a chat yesterday, actually, because you are a big Harley man. You love your Harley Davidsons.
Yes, I do. I love Harley Davidson. And one of the reasons I love Harley Davidson is legend has it that Billy Idol was originally going to be the thing that I did with Linda.
Uh-huh.
And for real.
Yeah.
And
I'm following.
Yeah.
Stan Winston had done molds of that guy for the thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And Mr. Idol was riding a Harley Davidson, and got in an accident, racked up his leg,
He loves Harley.
and as a result, I now have a career, but I also am totally into hyping that said product. Come and see me at Harley Davidson of Santa Clarita. Got a lot of his memorabilia there, some of hers, scattered around, bunch of bikes. But that's supposedly really what happened, and that created that opportunity for me. And I am forever indebted to Harley Davidson motorcycles.
Definitely.
That's a great story.
True
That's
story.
great. I had no idea.
So I was trying to think of like creative ways for us to have a little bit of fun before we open up to the floor. So I actually looked up some fun facts about each of you. But the thing is, with these things, as it is with the internet, I have no idea if any of these are actually true or not. But one of the ones that I saw that I thought was really interesting, and this was actually done by a research group online. Michael, do you know that in your projects, you've actually died on screen 44% of the time? So I actually wanted to ask you, how is it to die on screen? Like, what kind of, like what do you have to do to prepare for that, I suppose?
Terminator is not a good example.
No one heard that, no one heard that, no one heard that. Cut this.
Whoa. Terminator is not a good example of what I'm going to say, and that is that very early on, I started playing the antagonists or the bad guys in movies, and there's something about me that just like is psychotic, and I've always been that way, a little psychotic on and off screen, but it somehow they picked that up, and so I play a lot of antagonists, play a lot of bad guys, and if you play a bad guy in a movie, that's just what's going to happen to you. There's no such thing as a bad guy that survives. Unless you're made of some sort of liquid, whatever that thing was. So, I actually, people ask me whether like the good guys, the bad guys. I really, really love playing. Like my favorite character, favorite antagonist I've ever played was Johnny Ringo in Tombstone, and thank you. And they're just really like more interesting. The problem is when you start playing bad guys, you sometimes play less and less leading men, and the leading men always get paid a lot more. Yeah, So that's why I think that I die so many times, is I play so many bad guys. I got good at playing crazy.
I suppose it makes a bit of sense there. And Linda, one fun fact I heard about you, is it true that you actually thought that you were going to be a Shakespearean actress before you became an action hero?
Of course, we're, snobby New York actress. I trained at the Actor Studio and the Lee Strasberg Institute, and I remember casting people saying, don't go to LA, you'll get ruined. I mean, it's terrible there. It's crap there, because New York has its own very sort of strong sense of pride, and, theater-based actors have so much more value. So, yeah, I was very sort of afraid and cautioned to come to LA. But what was the question?
I was more that it was true, if it was true or not, because I wasn't sure. But I find it like so interesting. Like, what was it about Shakespeare that really like grasped?
Well,
you?
I did some Shakespeare in New York at the Actor Studio, and that's just the golden
pinnacle
that everyone is reaching for, and I don't. In my day, no one set out to be an action star, So I was quite surprised that, if you do one thing well, then that's what people assign to you for the rest of your career. And suddenly I was kick-ass. Yeah. I'll take it. I've had a great time.
And Robert, your fun fact we were actually talking about backstage, because I heard the rumor and then you've confirmed it now, but your brother was in Nine Inch Nails.
Can we talk about the music industry?
I think, yes, we can.
Yes, this is a fun little bit of trivia.
Yeah.
Again, I can tie it into the project I did with Linda. Why is that funny? Yeah, my brother was the original guitarist for Nine Inch Nails. And while we were making the movie, there was I had a, what do you call it, cassette, mixtape. Remember mixtapes? Yep. Okay, so I designed this mixtape for the character that I was playing while I was training. And Linda remembers Uzi Gall and all the training we had to do for that movie and stuff. And there was my running tape, and I had a lot of Ministry and Skinny Puppy and real industrial music. And Nine Inch Nails was new, and they had been touring. And I was very proud of my brother and Trent Reznor and those guys. And at some point, I went to Jim and said, you know, there's this one song that I've been listening to a lot, and it's Head Like a Hole, Black as Your Soul. I'd rather die than give you control. It's just great. I think it would fit in the movie really nicely. And he said, oh, no. Arnold loves Guns N' Roses, and we got the whole Guns N' Roses hallway scene and all that. And it was true, but I tried to help him get in there. Of course, Trent Reznor's gone on to score movies and receive several Academy Awards, so I wasn't too far off the mark, right?
Yeah.
Thank you, Michael. I needed some reassurance, brother. You're looking at me all of a sudden like
Well, listen, I'm sure you're all sick and tired of me asking the question. So if people are brave enough to chance their arm, we have 4 mics, and we're going to have about, say, 5 to 10 minutes left. So if we don't get to you, I'm very, very sorry. But I saw there's someone back here who was standing up very, very quickly, so we're going to go starting in the back
ready
here.
here, right there. How do you say your name?
Me. My question's actually for Linda. Linda, when you finished up in Beauty and the Beast in 1990...
I'm sorry, we're probably not going to be able to answer that question unless you're...
Beep.
The X Factor noise.
Sorry, folks. Just a reminder, we are not really going to be able to answer questions like specifically on film, TV, because it's due to the strike action at the moment. So we're doing our best.
Was that Ron Perlman?
It was, yes.
Yep.
So we're going to go this one here.
Hi there. Just a quick question. If you hadn't gone into acting, like, what was the next career choice, or if you had that in your head for like any 3 of you?
I love science, marine biology. I think at my age, knowing who I am today, I would really love to go into hospice care and care for the dying. I'm at an age where a lot of friends are sick. I've been in the hospital more in the last few months than anyone who isn't sick should be. And there's just such a shortage of people to care and comfort. You know, it's not like television where, you know, people call for help and the staff runs in to comfort them. You know, there's always someone screaming, help me, literally help me, you know, and I just would like to be that person that could be like the comfort for the people that are dying alone. I don't know, it sounds crazy, but that really is a calling of mine. My sister was a hospice nurse, and maybe it's a little bit of her coming through where I just understand how important it is to not be alone when you're dying, you know?
Jens, do you have a career that you thought you were going to go down?
I really, when I was young, I never was make it through college. I never had like, I've been like ADHD for a long time. And so it was really hard for me to concentrate and achieve anything that would, so I probably would have ended up on a construction site someplace. I used to be what they call a hod carrier for bricklayers, and I've done some cement work and some roofing, and so I probably would have ended up on a construction site and maybe gained the skills of laying block, something simple like that. That's kind of where I was headed when I got out of high school. I was working construction, not as a bricklayer, but I was working my way up to being a bricklayer. So that's probably what I would have done.
Next question. And Robert, I know you already have your Harley side hustle, so.
Somehow this is going to connect to Harley Davidson. I don't really know what I would have done. And I was at a point in my life where I had failed at so many things prior to acting that if it hadn't worked, I really don't know what the fuck I would be doing. I really don't know. I mean, I was such a loser. It was just awful. Like one catastrophe after another. I just watched my life going down the shitter. And I went, fuck, there's got to be more, man. And I had a real life, I don't want to get into, bore you too much. I had a real life and death situation where I survived, and I realized maybe I could make it in Hollywood. So I don't know. But if it hadn't, I would be selling Harley Davidson motorcycles.
Great question. Thanks very much.
I think what Robert is also saying is if you can't do anything, like you can't do anything at all, become an actor.
It's absolutely correct. There's hope for you out there.
I love it. Right, we're going to this one here in the front. Thank you.
Okay, so in the first turn, okay, a question that I've wanted to ask the three of you for so many years, and I know is maybe the one chance I'll ever get to ask this question. What's your favorite biscuit?
What's your favorite cookie? So, what's your favorite biscuit? So here we call them biscuits, but I know in the States you call them cookies. So he's asking, what's your favorite cookie?
My son and I had a big conversation, my 8-year-old, about a week ago. We were trying to figure out where the name came from, but we were talking about Oreos. So there you go. Might not be a biscuit the way that you define a biscuit, but it's a biscuit over in America.
Yeah, it works. Linda?
Nutter Butter makes a wafer. They're not just Nutter Butter cookies, they're like long bars of wafer with peanut butter inside, and that's just the ultimate for me. I think you all should go out and get some.
You're going to be sent a box of them now. Robert?
Famous Amos.
Do you have Famous Amos here? Chocolate chip cookies?
You don't know what Famous Amos?
No.
They're big.
Oh, well, you don't know. You haven't had a biscuit.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we're going down the back here.
All right, my question's for Robert, and I'm going to feed into your Harley Davidson thing.
All right, let's
I
go.
want to know, when did you decide to get into doing that kind of business, since you were already doing the other business?
When I realized I had a real passion, and it's what I do in my free time all the time. I ride around the country and get lost, and I was in my own brain saying, I really love to be able to monetize this somehow. And it just sort of manifested itself and became an opportunity that my business partner presented to me. And I don't know why he did, other than he had heard a rumor that I was interested in buying into a dealership, and the opportunity created itself. That's how God works. It's amazing. It happened. And I put all my money in there. And by God, it better fucking work. That's all I have to say. I'm in deep shit. My wife's going to be pissed off.
Thank you. Okay, hang on. Let me check
You
the time.
probably haven't heard all these words before.
Oh my goodness! Hello.
You know, don't.
Hey, I didn't see you there. Holy moly. Holy mackerel there,
Good
Amos.
spot, Michael.
Good Lord. I apologize. Oh, man, do I feel terrible. I'm so sorry.
Oh, does he?
Oh,
It's okay,
I'm
Dad
so
just got a few
sorry.
years worse at
I don't
home.
mean to offend the children. I just feel like I'm at an adult event and I'm letting loose. I apologize.
All right, we have time for 2 more questions. I'm so sorry. So we're going to go back here.
Quick one for all 3 of you guys. What's it like to be back in Dublin, Ireland?
Woo!
I love Dublin. People keep saying, "Are you enjoying it?" It's like, I will see the convention center and the hotel. That is it. I mean, because we work hard, and I just can't be a tourist and work at the same time. So I'll have to make another dedicated trip. But pretty much this is the way I feel about Ireland in general, is that even a honeymoon with James Cameron could not ruin Ireland for me.
That's going to be the new tagline on our tourism board.
So I love Ireland. Thank you very much.
I like being in Ireland during the summer as compared to the winter, because in the summer, the rain is warmer.
We like to say, it's like, oh yeah, the summer in Ireland's our favorite 2 weeks of the year. Now, last question, so no pressure, all right, man?
I just wanted to know where one could access that porno that Robert was allegedly in the 80s.
Yeah, that was a joke.
Is that a good final question or not?
That was a joke. Come on.
No, in all seriousness, in terms of the project that we cannot name, that glorious, brilliant, amazing project, I'd just love to hear from each of you. What, in your view, is the greatest impact that that project has had on each of your lives? That's what I would love to know.
Well, everybody calls me an icon. They ain't wrong.
Yes, you are.
It's a word I'm not comfortable with, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just that I'm so old that they've run out of names and now I'm a legend or an icon, but I'm not sure I would have gotten there without the movie we do not name. And it was a defining point that, you never know how your life is going to go. You don't plan these things, but I found my power in those movies, and I don't know that would have happened if I didn't get to play the part and pull up the strength that was required, and then you find parts of yourself that you didn't even know were there. So it was a great journey of self-discovery, and it's lovely to have that, in my descriptor now, that's kind of part of who I am all these years later.
Fabulous. Robert, you want to go next?
I love Ireland. I love being here in the summertime because it's got warm rain. At least that's what they're telling us. I hope that's rain. And I do love it here. This is a part of my ancestry. So I'm Scots Irish American, so it's very wonderful to be here. In regards to that project, it was for me personally at the time where I was as an actor, when it happened to me, it was like winning the Super Bowl. It was an elation. I don't know how to describe it other than that. When you've worked real hard and you get rewarded by getting the job. It was a tremendous feeling. And then the fact that, 33 years later, we're still sitting here talking about it, and it's
We're
had
not
such-
talking about
or-
it.
Yeah, doing the best
We are
to
not
cover up.
talking about it.
But it plays right into what we're talking about. It's, this thing is still going, and people are enjoying it, and that's our work, and we want to protect our images, and we want to protect our likenesses and future generations. We want our families to benefit from that because that's our work, it's our legacy. So that's what we're leaving you with. So that's why this strike is so important, I think.
Yeah, and I.
You don't have to clap.
For me, after I did this movie that we're not talking about, I did another movie with the director of the movie that we're not talking about. And that movie to me is that director's, in my opinion, and I'm biased, that's his best movie. And I had a wonderful experience doing it, and there was a camaraderie. And I think that in life, that the acting experience, and I know both of these actors feel the same way. It's like it's all about being able to work together. It's an ensemble. It's a group effort, and that one in particular was one where everybody just banded together and a lot of times when you're working on something, you don't realize what a wonderful time you're having and what a wonderful project you're working on and what wonderful people you're working with until years later. And fuck it. Yeah, Aliens to me was that.
Yeah!
Oh, I did it.
It wasn't just me.
That was an experience for me that I look back at as the best experience in my life when it comes to the film industry.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And now I'm so sorry. I'm going to be breaking a lot of hearts who are standing up waiting to ask a question. I'm sorry we are running over time, but we'll hopefully, they're going to be here for the rest of the day. So if you are going to be going up to the tables, hopefully you'll be able to ask the question then very quickly. But stay tuned. We're going to have a very special announcement coming up on the stage before the cosplay contest. But for now, please raise the roof. Linda Hamilton, Robert Patrick, look at me!
Thank you.
Absolutely wonderful.
As they decompose. And as you look closer at these corpses, they almost appear to be moving. But it is not the corpses that live. Oh no. It's the flesh-gorged rats that after feeding run and scurry by your feet.
And he is back to announce something very special for you all. So please put your hands together for Cork's only Will Slidey!
Hey everyone.
You know, it seems every time you come here, you bring us a little present.
Yeah, something small. I think this is one of the fun things about Comic-Con. We have an exclusive reveal for you today. Storytellers, for those of you who have seen it, it's something that's really steeped in the culture of Comic-Con. We literally have people here that are on the show floor that have built the costumes. We have art from so many kids inside it. And we have a superstar that's about to be announced as our new cast member. So when you see her come on the screen, she's got a little video for Dublin Comic-Con. Make sure to give her a big round of applause. So thank you very much. Here we go.
Enjoy!
Tonight, in a chat show exclusive, not only have we the world's #1 streaming sensation, we have the ancient samurai who possesses her.
Master, it appears their new hero is a mango-inspired creation.
A superhero based on a fruit.
Let's go live to one of Earth's greatest heroes to see if she will save us.
Hold on. I bet you beat this level first. Boom! There you go!
Hello, everybody at Dublin Comic Con. It is the man, WWE superstar Becky Lynch. I wish I was there. I hope you're all having the crack, the banter. I am very excited to announce, unless it's already been announced, but I think I'm announcing it, that I will be part of Storytellers voicing Stream Samurai. And so I'm so very excited to see the kids of Ireland all over run my character. I'm lucky enough that as WWE superstar, we get a lot of art being done, and it's my favorite part, the fan art. It's brilliant, it's beautiful. I want to see it. I want to see everybody drawn. I want to see everybody getting out there with the pencils, with the crayons. Get to work. Jim, what you got?
Will Slimy Storytellers coming to RTE2 and RTE Kids September 26th.
As they decompose. And as you look,
I've done a few panels now, okay? And it's always these two people in the front here. They're always the loudest. So I'm going to say it one more time. Good afternoon, everybody! I could still only hear you two. That's all. Okay. Are we excited? Seen lots and lots of amazing costumes. Anybody, any favorites so far? Give me a few tips here. Anybody? You getting up? No, you're not getting up. Okay. And we've seen lots of jokers. My son might be somewhere as a joker. I don't know. He might be here. Anyone else? I've seen Predators. No, I'm not even going to say the ugly ones. No, the ones with the tentacles and, yeah, you know, that one. We've seen Transformers, and I've seen things I haven't a clue about. Not a clue. But we're going to get things started, but we have some judges to bring on. Are we excited? Okay, we're going to see how this goes. This is my first time, so be gentle. Okay, my very first time. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Joanne, Amanda, and Matt, our lovely judges for today. You came prepared. Some even more so than others.
I like to dress up.
And did you not want to be in the competition?
No, because I just want to watch everybody else, because I've seen some amazing costumes this weekend.
There really are some amazing costumes. And it's not only just the adults and the people coming in and creating everything. We have amazing kids that just look fantastic. So I need your help with this, okay? When they come up here, massive, massive rounds of applause. I want to get down to no hands left, okay? Yes? 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 I always do that with my son. He always gets louder on the third one. It's great. Okay. Are we ready? Okay. Oh, no, sorry. I was talking to someone else. Sorry, I wasn't talking to you. Okay, let's go with the first one, please. David Murphy, come on down. That sounds like it. That was terrifying. Oh, good. Okay. Jay O'Sullivan, am I right for that? Jay O'Sullivan, come on now. Alex O'Gorman with Celeste. Did I get that right? Thank you. Oh, wow. Massive round of applause, Angel. Let it go. There we go. We have Ivy with Shattered Glamrock Chica. I think I got that right. Oh, wow. Vega. Isaac with the Mandalorian. our Jinx. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Round of applause. Star-Lord, ladies and gentlemen. Morgan as Star-Lord, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, Ellie! Ellie, that was very easy. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we're having issues here. 1 second. Ladies and gentlemen, Ben as Irie. And I really hope I got that right. Next we have Ren as Angel Devil. I have to be careful how I say this name. This is Scott as Predator. Next up is Reagan as Futana. Victoria as Morito. Next up is Saoirse Quinn as Nyan. Next up is Molly May as Mizuko! Next up is Mikey as Sal Fisher! Next is Tommy Wall as Metaton. Next up is Scotty as the Pink Mandalorian. is Gunnar as the autistic trooper. Next up is Kira as Deku. Lua and Amelia as Luce and Amity. Micah, Ollie and Hazel as Husk, Charlie and Angel Dust. Next up is Dory as the puppet. Next up is Kira as Hu Tao. Next up is Katie as Julia. Next up is Kate as Harley Quinn. Next up is Karma as Nagisa. Next up is Zero as McDonald's Miku. Marlene and Belle as Beetlejuice and Olivia. Oh, I think I got that wrong. Next up is Emmett and Maisie as Sun and Moon. Ladies and gentlemen, Ruby and Hannah as Mario and Princess Peach. I'll go with you, okay? I'll go with you. One with me, okay? One more round of applause. Next up, we have Spider-Man! Next up, we have David as Deku! Next up is Nessa as the Grim Reaper! Naomi is next as Mikatsu! I hope I got that right. Ladies and gents, Team Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon! Massive round of applause there, ladies and gentlemen. Next up, we have Kaylin as Spider-Punk. Okay. I'm going to need a little bit of help with this, okay? So 1 second.
Shinobu, Giyu, Tanjo, and Human Nezuko from Demon Slayer.
There you go. Try saying that fast 5 times. Next up is Amber as Nico Girl. Next up is Sally as Sarah Connor. Lara as a Ghostbuster! More help needed, ladies and gentlemen.
Zen and Finn as Shilian and Ho-chan.
There we go. Next up, we have Jamie and Evie as Dazai and Shuya. Pelican family as the Mario family! Davin as Mario! Next up we have Matthew as Sanitsu! Next up is Molly as Mima! So ladies and gents, that was the under-16s. Give them all a massive round of applause. We'll have more coming on soon, but I want to talk to the judges. Judges, what are we thinking so far? I'm not going to ask for any favourites or anything, but what are we thinking?
I think we're massively impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a fantastic selection of costumes out there. Well done, everyone. Well done.
Yeah, another round of applause, absolutely. Now, I believe we have some little prizes for the under-16s and some of the tots as well, so we'll get them. We're going to start getting the over-16s in now. Just give me 1 second. Ava. First up, we have Ava as Sailor Moon! Next up, we have Dermot as World War II Captain America! Next up, we have Adam as Giovanni from Pokemon. This is Dean as Gandalf. I did threaten to kick him out if he didn't do that, so I'm very happy he did. Next up we have Andrew as Newt from Rainbow Six. Can't argue with that. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. Next up we have Sean at Desire of the Endless. I probably butchered that, I'm sorry. Next up we have Thomas, Spider-Man Original Design. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. Next up, we have Adam as Armored Titan.
Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah.
Next up is Alex as Shattered Roxy. Next up is Nathan as Venom Snake. Next up is Kyle from Kid from One Piece. I hope I got that right. One second, ladies and gentlemen. Kelly as the Good Danger Dragon. Next up is Thunder as Grian.
Kira as Double Life, No Time to Be Strong.
Next up is Kira, who is Double Life, Good Times with Scar. I tell you, this is not easy. This is not easy. Next up is Ilya as Glaceon from Pokemon! Next up we have Grania from Dio JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. I'm sorry. Next up, we have Lemon as Ahsoka! Next up, we have Savannah as Alistair and Bucks. There we go. Next up is Sammy as Springtrap. Next up is Cash, Boss Riding Shogun. Next up is Chloe as Spider-Punk. Next up is Olivia as the Grey Warden. Next up is Emma as Keyleth. Next up is Valeria as Artaga. Next up is Alicia as Juster. Next up is Ash as Caduceus Clay. Gary and Siobhan as Gomez and Morticia Adams. Next up is Siobhan as Scaramouche. Next up is Siobhan as Violet Evergard. Next up, we have Acura and Rio. Next up is Aoife and Paul as Beauty and the Beast. Next up is Helena as Galadriel. Next up is Ronan and Jake as Spider-Man and Miles Morales. But careful, careful. Next up is Ronan as Ghost. Next up is Ro as Six from Little Nightmares. Next up is Tia as Harper from Wizards of Waverly Place. Next up is Jaden as Toothless. Next up is Rowan as Arietti. Next up is Patrick as the Batman. I want to remind one of the judges she's not in the competition. Next up is Lucy as Megan! Next up is Christine Francisco Von Karma. Next up is Faye as Yoshimitsu. Next up is PJ as Scaramouche. Next up is Jude as John Wick. Nobody touches dog. Next up is Harley, Joker, and Ivy. Every time someone comes on the stage, I have a heart attack. Emma Louise as Katsu and Miku. Next up is Liam as Max Payne. Next up is Nathan as Pennywise. Next up is Andrew as Death from Puss in Boots. Next up is Ellie Mae as Belle. Yeah, of course, Next up is Julian as Angel of Death from Hellboy. Next up is Emma as Audrey 2 from The Little Shop of Horrors. Next up is Lord and Fun! From Bosa from Breath of the Wild. Next is Yaz as Juko Edishima. up is Sarah as Undying.
Wet paint cosplay as Dimitri. Wet paint cosplay.
Next up is Wet Paint Cosplay as Dimitri.
Sasha as Rosalina from Mario Galaxy. Say it one more time. Hold on, your first name is Sasha. Sasha.
Next up is Sasha as Rosalina from Mario Galaxy.
Dana as Sweetheart from Memoriam. Sweetheart from Memoriam. Dana is good.
Next up is Dana as Sweetheart from Memoriam. Rebecca as Jin. I probably got that.
That good girl.
Next up is That Gutter Girl as Mango.
Bonnie's Brains as Princess Peach.
Next up is Bonnie's Brains as Princess Peach.
Mike as Scorpion.
Next up is Mike as Scorpion.
Hey kid, never let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test.
Next up is Sean as Wrecker from the Bad Batch.
Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like. Find your limits, don't be rigid, only work towards your dreams. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing. Won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless.
Next up we have Claudio as the Joker.
They don't wanna see me naked, they don't wanna see me care. Anytime I make some progress, I can see that they compare. I think everyone's against me, maybe something in the air. Am I paranoid? I swear a void is forming and they're scared I walk a straight path.
Okay, that is everybody. What do we take? Oh, whoa, whoa. Hold the phone. We have one more.
You better pray that that I don't see your face at any place that I go. I know you hate that. I've been doing fine, I'm not wasting any more time.
Last of all, we have Warrior Shinji Ikari.
The pain that's deep inside is what defines. So I won't give up, I'm gonna make it to the top. I don't care what's in my way, I swear I'm never gonna stop. I could fall flat on my face and I swear I will get back up. Cause I don't deserve a thing and the road ahead is tough. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna
Next up is the Undead Cause.
They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing. Won't bother hiding my...
Now at this point, ladies and gentlemen, if there's anybody in the audience who has a costume and hasn't come up and would like to enter the competition, come up now. I'm going to give you 5 minutes. Oh Christ, there's a rush. All right.
Go, Dave. 3, 2, 1.
I really shouldn't have done that. I just got told, oh no, Jerry, it's your call.
Kaz and Jolene. Debbie and Jose. Kaz and Jolene, Debbie and Jose. Go, just go. Don't worry about that. Kaz and Jolene, Debbie and Jose. Jose and Jose. Jerry, do you want this? It's just your face, please. It's controversial.
Just to say, ladies and gentlemen, over 16s only. I'm very sorry. Over 16s only. I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it. Where's your ID?
Okay, next up is Demi and Jose.
It's all fun, isn't it? Oh, very fun. Kate and Megan. And Sage and Chamber. Kate and Megan. Sage Chambers.
Next up is Kate and Megan, the Sage and Chamber. Next up is Leah as Ray! Next up is Kelly as Imogen!
Daggers and Taro as Imogen. Daggers and Taro.
Next up is Daggers and Taro as Imogen!
Taylor and David as Crowley and as Zerth. Taylor and David as Crowley. Good old. Taylor and David, is it? Yeah.
Taylor and David as Good Omens! Next up is Sean as Robin!
Willow Cosplay, Gemma 19. Willow Cosplay, Gemma 19. Willow Cosplay.
Next up we have Willow Cosplay as Gemma 19!
We haven't given them out.
I'll cut it off here. Best way to do it is there's too many.
Okay, we didn't expect as many people to come up, so we are going to have to cut it off, I'm afraid. I am sorry. Just blame him. Or him. I'm just the host, I just get told what to do. So we are going to cut it off there. We're going to have a few more, okay? Then we're going to go through the prizes and see who is the winner.
This is the payday gang.
Next up is the Payday Gang. Here we go. Next up is Elliot as the Joker. Next up is Cheyenne as Can I Coach You? Next up is Luke as Kratos. Next up is Kelly as Saber. Next up is Philippe as Eren Yeager.
Say it to him. Tomura Shigaraki. Rachel Tomura Shigaraki.
Next up is Rach as Shigaraki. Next up is Ozzy as Amity. Next up is Jessica as Joe Tazama. Next up is Nick as Obi-Wan. Next up is Amy as Regina, Once Upon a Time. Next up is Shinya from Psychopaths. Next up is Donica as Toby. Next up is JC as Miku. Next up is Dylan, the red guy. Next up is Daniel as Prowler. Next up is Aaron as Vanat. Next up is Keen as Minos Prime. Next up is Casper from Skullduggery Present. Next up is Abby as Gwen Stacy. Roisin as Guppy. Next is Elijah as Turbo Granny. Next up is Sam as Valak the Nun. Next up is Rin, Spider-Man the War.
Say it again.
Next up is Mihal as Zorro. So next up is JJ as the Crumlin Spider-Man and Delta Tanjiro. I'm sorry.
Roxy, a Sailor Moon. Roxy, Sailor Moon.
We have a couple more and then that's everybody. Roxy as Sailor Moon. We're gonna go with Mickey Mouse and of all, Mickey Mouse and Gizmo! Okay. Does anyone have a strong drink? No? Nobody? Okay. What did we think of all of them, ladies and gentlemen? Massive round of applause for everybody who took part. That really was... Now, I hadn't a clue about half of them when I come in. Couldn't even get the names right, but judges, how difficult was this?
This is so tough. Such amazing creativity and skill up on the stage. I'm amazed. You should all just give yourselves a round of applause. Fantastic.
Now, I'm going to give you a few minutes to deliberate, but let me... I have to be very careful because I obviously made a few boo-boos there a few minutes ago when I was getting people to come over. I thought maybe 2 or 3 would come over, and then 457 came over. So unfortunately, for anybody who missed out, I really am sorry, but we will get you the next time, don't worry. How long do you need, judges, to deliberate? About 3 hours?
March?
March. Well, so anybody who took part will give you a prize in March. Is that all right? No? Okay. Right, we're going to give the judges a few minutes, okay? In the meantime, the under 16, is it the tots? So we have prizes for the tots. Do we still have the tots? The tots are all over here. Okay. I'm sorry, yours is just so small. So we're going to give out a few prizes to the tots, okay? We're going to give the judges a few minutes to deliberate, and we're going to get a first, second, and third. So just give them a few minutes. Maestro, can we have a little bit of music in the meantime? I didn't think that would work. Excellent. So just give us a few minutes, okay? Okay, so just as the judges are deliberating down, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say we have a couple of prizes for some of the tots. So if any of the tots, any of the youngest, say up to 5 or 6 or 7, come on down to the stage. We have a few prizes for you because we can't give prizes to everybody, but come on down to the stage and we give you some prizes, okay?
as they decompose. And as you look closer at these corpses, they almost appear to be moving. But it is not the corpses that live. Oh no. It's the flesh-gorged rats that after feeding, run and scurry by your feet.
But the judges have made a decision. So we're going to have the top three. So we're going to go from 3, 2, 1, okay? So coming in third place was the Grey Warden. Is he still here? Is that you all the way up there? Please be careful on them stairs. Ladies and gentlemen, third place, the Grey Warden! One more time for the Grey Warden! Coming in second place. Now, you all know, you've seen everyone up here, this was a really, really tough decision. The judges came second place. Venom Snake! Where is he? Is he here? He was hiding. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, second place, Ven. Oh no, he doesn't have his box. Sorry, no, you don't. No, you don't have a box. I'm only joking. I'm only joking. One more time, Venom Snake. Okay. Can we have the music down, please? So, could you have picked a winner, really? That's how difficult this was. That's how long it took them to come up with this winner. But there was one person in the audience that they loved. There was one person that you all loved. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner... No drum roll? Oh, Jesus, okay. There we go. The winner is... the Predator! Anyone want to get a picture of all the winners? I am. Who went to the competition. These were all absolutely brilliant. One guy, I'm just going to say, he's right up there. And he said the words, "You shall not pass." Thank you so much to Gandalf. Everybody else, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I've been Jerry Soul. Thank you so much. And I might see you in March. I don't know. They might sack me. We'll never know. But thank you so much. And we'll see you then. Thank you. And a big thank you, sorry, to all our judges.